John Dewey. He gave these as a series of lectures in Scotland at the University of Edinburgh in 1929. Well attended, standing room only. Practical activity deals with individualized and unique situations, which are never exactly duplicable, and about which, accordingly, no complete assurance is possible. All activity, moreover, involves change. The intellect, however, according to the traditional doctrine, may grasp universal being, and being which is universal is fixed and immutable. Wherever there is a practical activity, we human beings are involved as partakers in the issue. All the fear, disesteem, and lack of confidence which gather about the thought of ourselves cluster also about the thought of the actions in which we are partners. Man's distrust of himself has caused him to desire to get beyond and above himself. In the pure knowledge he has thought he could attain this self-transcendence. There is no need to expatriate upon the risk which attends overt action. The burden of proverbs and wise saws is that the best laid plans of men as of mice gang agley. Fortune rather than our own intent and act determines eventual success and failure. The pathos of unfulfilled expectation, the tragedy of defeated purpose and ideals, the catastrophes of accident are commonplaces of all comment on the human scene. We survey conditions, make the wisest choice we can, we act, and we must trust the rest to fate, fortune, or providence. Moralists tell us to look to the end when we act, and then inform us that the end is always uncertain. Judging, planning, choice, no matter how thoroughly conducted, and action, no matter how prudently executed, never are the sole determinants of any outcome. Alien and indifferent natural forces, unforeseeable conditions enter in and have a decisive voice. The more important issue the issue, the greater is their say as to the ulterior event. Hence, men have longed to find a realm in which there is an activity which is not overt and which has no external consequences. Safety first has played a large role in effecting a preference for knowing over doing and making. With those to whom the process of pure thinking is congenial and who have the leisure and the aptitude to pursue their preference, the happiness attending knowing is unalloyed. It is not entangled in the risks which overt action cannot escape. Thought has been alleged to be a purely inner activity intrinsic to mind alone, and according to traditional classic doctrine, mind is complete and self-sufficient in itself. Overt action may follow upon its operations, but in an external way, a way not intrinsic to its completion. Since rational activity is complete within itself, it needs no external manifestation. Failure and frustration are attributed to the accidents of an alien, intractable, and inferior realm of existence. The outer lot of thought is cast in a world external to it, but one which in no way injures the supremacy and completeness of thought and knowledge in their intrinsic natures. Thus, the arts by which man attains such practical security as is possible of achievement are looked down upon. The security they provide is relative, ever incomplete, at the risk of untoward circumstance. The multiplication of arts may even be bemoaned as a source of new dangers. Each of them demands its own measures of protection. Each one in its operation brings with it new and unexpected consequences, having perils for which we are not prepared. The quest for certainty is a quest for a peace which is assured, an object which is unqualified by risk and the shadow of fear which actions cast. For it is not uncertainty per se which men dislike, but the fact that uncertainty involves us in peril of evils. Uncertainty that affected only the detail of consequences to be experienced, provided they had a warrant of being enjoyable, would have no sting. It would bring the zest of adventure and the spice of variety. Quest for complete certainty can be fulfilled in pure knowing alone. Such is the verdict of our most enduring philosophic tradition. While the tradition has, as we shall see later, found its way into all themes and subjects, determines the form and content current of current problems and conclusions regarding mind and knowledge, it may be doubted whether we were